So a lot of people have asked me why I decided to start SOHO, and the answer to that's pretty simple. But before I get into that, I just wanted to provide a little bit of background. So I moved to Victoria 15 years ago with my family. The kids were pretty young at the time, and I really just moved here for quality of life. I really wanted to enjoy all that Vancouver Island has to offer, and as you can see, I'm doing that now. Here I'm out here in Thetis Lake doing some paddle boarding, which I do not every morning, but a couple of days a week before the workday starts. Or it's pretty beautiful, eh? Or come out here after work sometimes. And of course it has snowboarding, surfing, golfing, hiking, all kinds of great stuff. And at the time in Toronto I was working for an ad agency there and had a pretty stable job, good salary, great projects we were working on. It was one of the biggest ad agencies in the world. So when I left, people thought I was pretty crazy, but I really just wanted to start my own business, do my own thing, and live the life I wanted to live. And so, as any business owner does, you know, we start with a bit of trepidation, but came out here and tried to get started. Didn't really know anybody, but thought, you know, I'm coming from the big city, worked at the big ad agency, shouldn't be a problem. If you're a business owner here, you know that's not quite the case. There's more to getting started in Victoria than that. So I actually went to work for a smaller ad agency for a couple of years, built up my network, and then restarted the business, Be West Interactive, about just over 10 years ago. And so, like any small business does when you get started, of course, you have all the basics you have to do. Get a logo, build a website, register the domain, decide if you're going to incorporate or not, hire employees, and then the main thing is you got to go out and find clients. And so there's a lot of great networking opportunities in Victoria, as you probably know, and so I started to do a lot of that. And so this is where the story of SOHO sort of begins. Is one of the networking groups I joined. We had monthly, it was big groups, about 30 people. But we had monthly meetings with the B2B category was what we were. So there was myself, there was an IT professional, a corporate lawyer, an accountant, a bookkeeper, an insurance advisor, a few other people. So all the kind of, a lot of the parts that you kind of need to start and run a business. But we would meet once a month in someone's office, and we got to know each other, and the camaraderie was great. But what I really enjoyed was the kind of moral and mutual support that you get from like-minded, you know, business owners, all knowing the things that we each face. And then each month, one of the members would bring a specific challenge that they were facing to the group, and as a group, we would all kind of focus on that person and that person's business and help them tackle their problem. And this went on for years, and it was really, really useful and really valuable. And I got a lot of knowledge out of it, solved some problems, and made some good friends that I still have today. And I literally remember sitting in the meeting one day and thinking to myself, you know, how do other business owners get this sort of support and answers to questions, you know, specific business-related questions that they need to answer, you know, and specific things and tasks that business owners all need to do. And I had been running Social Media Camp for a couple of years at that point, so I thought to myself, well, I wonder if there's a conference in this sort of idea, you know, this group of 8 of us, if we could expand that, would people be interested in attending a full day of these kind of workshops and stuff? And so I actually kicked it around to the guys in the group in the meeting that day, and everybody said, yeah, I think that's a great idea. And that was really the genesis of the first SOHO Summit, which was, I guess, 4 years ago. We held it at the Victoria Conference Center. And we had about 20 speakers, and so we worked out the agenda to have speakers like any good conference would do, but not the big kind of rah-rah inspirational stuff, although that's good, but it was designed more to be very practical, hands-on, helpful to get to enable business owners to walk out of the conference that day and apply some of what they learned to their business right away, and having met some of the professionals that they potentially might need to hire or contract with or work with to get the business done, to grow their business, to be more productive, more profitable, or also in some cases to meet the employee that they kind of needed to hire, or to meet a partner that they needed to collaborate on a certain project for some services maybe that complemented theirs. And all kinds of great things came out of that first one, and I was really encouraged and pretty stoked about how it all went. And so we've been building and growing on that theme since then. So this year is the 4th year, and we've changed the venue. So from the conference center, we've actually moved it to the Elements Casino, which is on the West Shore and the Island Highway, so not far from downtown. Free parking, which is nice. And so we've got, again, just a stellar lineup of speakers and workshop leaders and panelists. And then the one thing that a lot of people, it's a bit different than a lot of people got great value out of, is one-on-one expert advisors, where you can actually reserve a 15-minute time slot and sit down with a lawyer or an accountant or an IT professional or a mobile phone professional or a web professional. We've got a whole bunch of different people that you can sit down with, ask questions, pick their brain. So the value that someone would get out of that is worth the cost of entry alone, because of course to sit down with a lawyer is a couple $100 an hour these days. So really hope that you will join us this year on October 10th at Elements Casino. More info is at sohosummit.com, and I hope this has been helpful in terms of getting to know a bit more about why I started the event and what it's all about. And so we look forward to seeing you there, and I hope you guys have a great day. I'm going to finish up my paddle here on Thetis Lake. And yeah, if you ever anyone wants to get out for a paddle, let me know. I'm always up for, I've got a couple of boards, so I'll bring you out. Let me know. All right, ciao.